due to crossing streams. In accordance with that, according with the current regulation, the correct use of a mask and face shield is mandatory. Please be aware of the following safety measures. Our passport for emergency and
Hello again, my beautiful peeps. I'm Jamaican Youth, and in this video I'm taking you to Machu Picchu in Peru. Machu Picchu is an archaeological site that is referred to as an ancient Incan city. If you know the backstory with Peru, Peru is Incan. The indigenous people that lived in Peru are called the Incas, and they are thought of to have built the city of Machu Picchu, which is an ancient city. Machu Picchu was kind of discovered by an American archaeologist, because if you look back at the story between the relationship of the Spanish and the indigenous people of Peru, you would have known that Pizarro, that was a European conqueror who came to Peru. He came to Cusco, which is a city in Peru, to try and find gold, and so he robbed the Incas of all their gold. He kind of took charge of the city of Cusco, but never found Machu Picchu, and later on an American archaeologist discovered it. So in this video we're going to that ancient city. We're leaving out of the city of Cusco, which is one of the closest major cities to Machu Picchu, and we are exploring the surroundings. Hope you enjoy.
Yes, I'm here in Machu Picchu. Well, I'm at the bottom of Machu Picchu. This is the rail I came on. Just came off the rail, and there's a bus that you can take to get to the bottom of Machu Picchu to enter. But guess what? You can also walk it. And I'm gonna save some money and walk. I'm gonna walk to the foot of Machu Picchu. So I'll be showing you some of the sights and the sounds, if I see anything interesting, that is. And then, oh, some other interesting stuff. And then, if I see anything.
So here I'm walking up the hill to Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is located on a hill, so I'm making the trek from down the bottom of the hill up to the top. There is a bus service there that is provided. You can pay about $12 to take the bus up the hill instead of walking it. I decided to walk because I wanted the excitement and the experience, but in hindsight it probably wasn't a good idea, because it was a very, very long walk and you're going uphill. It was tiring. You know, I saw people on the way down when I was walking, and it seemed like that was the smarter thing to do, to just take the bus up to the Machu Picchu, explore it, and then if you want to walk, you can always walk the way back down to where you take the rail back to Cusco, which is the major city that's close to Machu Picchu. But I decided to walk. I really did get some beautiful shots. I saw, you know, the whole area in a way that you maybe wouldn't have seen or get to appreciate if you didn't walk. But I'm sure you could have seen it outside the bus as well. So I appreciated the walk, but in hindsight I probably would not have done that again. I would probably have taken the bus, because it was pretty tiring, you know, but it was a good experience still. So I walked up to the entrance of Machu Picchu.
So here it is now. We're finally arriving at Machu Picchu after a long and exhausting walk. And having done all of that, still gonna have to join this line. I'm guessing that's the line I have to join to enter.
So at this point now I'm in, and you know, of course I get to see some of the stunning sights. You know, it was really a sight to behold, to be in there and looking over how this place was built. You know, I was pretty tired and there was a little bit more uphill to climb, but you know, I was so happy. I was proud of myself for walking it, even though I probably didn't need to. But just getting to look at the city itself, the ancient city, how it was built, or the type of the way it was built, the stones. You know, it's not as if construction was very advanced in those times, but you know, you kind of look around and see, you know, how they were able to build this structure, or you know, or this area, just by you know measuring rocks, really, or using rocks and you know, getting them to sit symmetrically and all of that. It was kind of amazing to see. Now, you know, if you read about it, this city was abandoned and it wasn't really found by the Spanish explorers. It was overgrown, and so a lot of bush was on this piece of, you know, this city, and the American archaeologists discovered it, and you know, subsequently Peruvians found out about it and they cleaned it up and everything, and now it's a tourist destination or historical site in Peru. You know, but it's pretty nice to see. It's a pretty big area, and as you travel around Cusco and Peru, you kind of see, you know, remnants of the type of life that would have been here. You can see the alpaca and the llamas there. They're very much a huge part of Peruvian culture, even so much so that sometimes even the meat is eaten, the meat of the llama.
They're just grazing. I wonder if I can pet him. I hope he doesn't do anything. I touched him. Oh wow, there's a little baby llama over there. Looks like there've been some little llama mating. Oh man, I'm so exhausted, I ain't even gonna lie. It's been a long trek. I should have taken the bus up here, you know. Whew. So now, apparently we can get a better picture of Machu Picchu. Wow. The famous Machu Picchu. Oh.
yes, here there's just so much to see. You're kind of walking down into the lower part of Machu Picchu, and you can see all the architecture there. Very interesting. Just a little bit of history of Machu Picchu. It's said to be a 15th century Inca city or citadel, and so it really has some history there. It's been around for a long time, and the Incas, it's one of the indigenous peoples of the Americas that had one of the most successful kingdoms, if you like. Their presence in Latin America is very strong, and the Incas they spread over into Ecuador as well, but a lot of the center of the Incan Empire was in Cusco, or near Cusco, or in Peru in particular. And so, this kind of is a remnant of the life that they used to live. Machu Picchu was rediscovered by the American archaeologist Hiram Bingham III. Someone had seen Machu Picchu before him, but he kind of made it famous. Hiram Bingham, and he really brought attention to it. Spent a lot of time spent a few months in Peru, going around looking for archaeological artifacts, and came across Machu Picchu, which was eventually turned into a preserved site in Peru over the time. But as you can see, it's large, and there are other areas in Peru that have cities similar to this, where you can see the remnants of ancient cities. But as you can see there, this one is kind of one of the more famous ones. You can see how big it is, and you can always kind of read about what life was like. But I can tell you, the alpaca, and there's something that I call cuy. It's food that they used to eat a long time ago. And there's just so much to kind of delve into with this, with life in the Incan Empire, or with the Incas. Even when you're here in Machu Picchu, it's high altitude. So one of the things you see that they sell, or you can get in Peru is coca leaves, and when you chew the coca leaf, it helps you with altitude sickness. Some people say you can get high from it. I mean, I tried it. I ate some coca leaves. Nothing of the sort. It was just kind of to stave off altitude sickness, because sometimes what tends to happen is that you can get a little woozy. You can get a little bit dizzy from being in such high altitude, and you kind of need to be able to deal with that. Some people get sick from the high altitude. So I can tell you, when I was there in Cusco especially, the first day I got there, when I walked for a little, I got dizzy, and I had to walk and stop and walk and stop and walk and stop for a few times, because I just got dizzy from being there. So this is high altitude, and I think this is even high altitude than Cusco. So it's one of the things that is kind of encouraged that you do if you're not used to this type of altitude. Of course, people who live there, they don't experience the same thing, but for tourists, it tends to happen. They even have pills that you can take if you're sick, that can help you to deal with the sickness, or to help you stave off the sickness. But it's something that is manageable or controllable. But definitely beautiful archaeological site. I really enjoyed seeing a lot of what I saw there.
So we're back again. My battery's almost out, but I have to catch much as this is it. Hi, how are you? Where are you from? From Utah. Cool. I'm from Pittsburgh. I live in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We're playing today too.
We got the bye week from Minnesota recently.
Oh, the Vikings.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, just trying to do a walking tour here. How's it been?
Oh man, I've been here all week. So
Oh, really? Wow.
beautiful.
It is. You really do need more than one day to take it in. Have you been up there?
About 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But like 3 days ago, I was up there.
Okay. Like where the house is? Or oh, the mountain. Oh, wow. Wow. So you hike a lot. Tell me something. Those are coca leaves, right? Those are coca leaves?
Yeah.
What do they do whenever you, because of
It helps with altitude.
with altitude sickness? I see.
Yeah, you just put it like a sauce.
Yeah,
Suck the juice out.
I see. Yeah, chewing on coca leaves help with altitude sickness. So some people say it makes you get high. I don't feel high from it. As the guy was saying, it slows your heart rate down. But I need some water. I think this is the end of the tour. Heading out to get something to drink and some food and just chill out a little bit. So this is the end of that. So ciao.